in 4.0. Our pie chart with depth has been added with the latest release. Scatter charts, some improved bubble charts, a box plot map, heat map and tree mapping are available now. Another feature is what's called a tag cloud chart, as well as a waterfall chart. So let's go and take a look at some of these new features and how they can be integrated into some of your reports here. Again, some of the new features, to go a little bit into more detail. Now there is automatic adjustment of some of the chart properties to the object size. Really quick formatting is now available in like a new toolbox piece. Dialog box for advanced formatting. There's a lot of additional display choices. You can now even have formulas within titles of the charts themselves, as well as access scaling with minimum and maximum values. A lot more attractive bar types, and you can have more control on lines and markers. Shadow and light effects are now available. Height and width of chart areas are adjustable. So what it boils down to is you have a lot more interactivity and customization with this new product. Let me go ahead and show you some of the new features of this pie charting capability. Now I've got a sample report here. You guys are familiar with, obviously, a pie chart. What SAP has done with the 4.0 release is they've really integrated some of the, if you're familiar with Excelsius and some of the other dashboarding tools, some of the aesthetics with Excelsius have kind of integrated into this web intelligence piece, and that includes a lot more depth to some of the charts. There's a lot of options to add light shadow effects, gloss effects, things like that that really make these charts pop and make them more aesthetically pleasing. So this is a typical pie chart with a gloss effect, fairly simple. One of the main features that they have added is this pie chart with depth. And basically what it is, it allows you to select certain pieces of the chart. You can always mouse over the chart as well for some additional detail. And I'll show you some of the options of this piece here. One second. Sorry, there's a little bit of lag here. So if I got to format a chart here, there are even some additions to gradient effects as well. A lot of different palette styles and colors are available. Embossed type of effects are available as well. And of course, background, there's this new gradient that you can apply. So this addition is a really neat piece. The next one we're going to take a look at is, some of you might be familiar with the bubble charts and kind of scatter plot maps. They've really improved this piece and made it more pleasing to look at and be able to consume the data. This particular chart is a bubble chart. A key feature with Web Intelligence is the ability to change a chart type very quickly, and basically how that works. So let me go ahead and turn this particular chart into a scatter chart, and you can kind of see the difference here. Again, sorry about the lag here. If you go to more transformations, this new Webby improved product, you can quickly go to kind of the standard column chart, line chart, pie charts, but if you click on more transformations, it actually gives you all those same options and more. So if I click on scatter chart here, my values are still selected. You can add, additional measures or objects here, but I'm going to keep the same objects that are in the example. And now it's changed to a scatter chart. And, again, you can really improve the look of this. You can make these plot points larger. We have quite a few options over here in our legend, as you can see, but, everything is completely customizable. And the next feature they've actually added is what's called a box plot chart. And what I'll do is go ahead and change this chart into the new box plot. What the box plot chart does, it's really a graphical display of a 5-number summary based on the distribution of a data set. And it can be definitely helpful in certain scenarios. I'll just go up here to box. And as you can see, it gives you a little interpretation and a brief description of how it can be used. Again, it might work in certain scenarios, but as you can see, you have some new, lighting effects, and just make these graphs really pop a lot more. Let's take a look at Treemap and heat map options here. I've already created these scenarios, but this is actually a heat map that I created from this Treemap. But as you can see here, this map displays values that are within nested rectangles that have different color coordinations the idea of tree mapping and heat mapping in the financial business is you can quickly gauge some of your revenue amounts very rapidly in business scenarios. They're fairly simple, and with the different shading variations, you can just glance at this map and get a gauge of where your numbers are very quickly, and that's really the idea of this heat map and tree map type scenarios. Now let's take a look really quickly. I think another addition is this tag cloud chart. And it's a very intriguing addition to this release. And I really think that it does have a purpose in certain scenarios. And I'll show you kind of how it works. So basically the whole idea of this is, again, a quick visualization with different sizing of wording and color coordinations that represent, relative weight to a certain data set, using the word size as well as colors. So as you can see here, Texas is the largest font type, and it actually corresponds to the sales revenue over here, with Texas being, kind of the lighter lime green here, as well as the largest. You can quickly gauge that Texas has the highest sales revenue for this particular report. California and New York are, right there in second, and Florida, Illinois, DC, and if you can really focus your eyes and see Massachusetts down here, it's very small, and obviously it's in the lowest sales revenue category. Let me go to reading here. And this particular report actually has an input control applied to it, and we can utilize this input control to kind of drill down to a certain year revenue or all values. In this case, I'm going to bring back all values, and if I select Texas, corresponding data down here actually drills down to Texas, and as you can see, you have the different store names, lines, based on that location. Click on California here. As you can see, there's a neat little pie chart, and again, you have some interaction with some mouse over values, depending on which area you mouse over on this particular chart. And I'm going to go ahead and change this chart really quick into, let's go ahead and change it into the new pie chart with the slices here. I'm going to go ahead and pick the depth size. I think sales revenue is an adequate measure to select here. And again, you can get as detailed and robust as you would like within these reports, making them, again, adding some of the light and shadow effects. The options for customization are immeasurable when compared to some of the earlier releases of this product. It's definitely a welcomed option here. You can modify the title. As I mentioned earlier, you can even have a formula that populates a certain title in any given scenario. And again, all of these are options. You can just get really detailed with this. And last, let's go ahead and take a look at the waterfall chart. And kind of the description of the waterfall chart piece. It contains vertical bars for which each bar starts at the level of the previous one with a goal of showing cumulative effects of the values of a measure. So if I select waterfall chart here, you can get a better idea of what we're looking at. It's basically a successive variation of a measure. And again, the whole idea of some of these enhancements is to consume the chart and the data very quickly. And of course, in addition to these charts that we've taken a look at, these are really only some of the new additions, but you have all the typical and actually some more refined options for some of the bar charts, line charts, area charts, some of the polar charts, the radar maps. All of those things are still available, but this is the waterfall chart, and again, it's just kind of a brief synopsis. If I right-click that, let's take a real brief look at all of the typical charting options that are still available with the new enhancements applied to them. So we still have the radar charts. Of course, a lot of different options for line charts. And of course, there are some mapping capabilities as well. So depending on your business scenario, you can definitely incorporate one or many of these new enhancements and really make your web intelligence reports pop and more aesthetically pleasing to the consumer of the data. So that is it for this particular demo. We really appreciate you attending, and if you have any questions, I'll be taking those questions offline and can definitely get back to you if you have any detailed questions. We'll be happy to answer those. And thanks again. Appreciate you attending.